y'all, hi. Welcome new folks who came from the last video. So today we're gonna be doing a video that I do pretty all the time. We're gonna be trying some new makeup that just hit the market. One thing today is going to be a first impression. I rarely do that, but I have been spending so much time trying to get my head around half magic beauty that I have not yet had the chance to try this. So I just got this. This is the Danessa Myricks Freedom palette. This little mini friend here. The foundation that we're going to be using today is this new one from Lancome. It is so oddly unmarked. All the information is here on the back. It is the new Fresh Glow Tinted Serum. Got it in the shade 10N. I also got the new highlighter from Lancome. This is all very new to me, the world of Lancome. I don't think I've owned anything besides a Juicy Tube from Lancome maybe ever. So this is the CE Skin Transforming Highlighter. I got this in the shade 01 Light Glow. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all I made the egregious miscalculation of ordering the Hula Wave from Benefit. This is their new bronzing balm. No, I did not miscalculate on the shade or anything like that. This is a miscalculation in the sense that I bought it at all. It's really very bad. And I'm gonna show you why, right? Fun! Because that will likely suck, I also have a whole bunch of these, new things from Queen Musia. Queen Musia is an indie brand right now, but they are very active on Shop My Shelf and things like that. They are very generous with their gifting, and I've really liked everything that they've done so far, from the packaging to the point of view of the colors and the formulas. And so I'm really excited to try these, but this, I lied. This is also gonna be a first impression because this was an audible. I saw the stack over there and I was like, I know how much that Hula bronzer sucks, so we're probably going to be going into these bronzers as well. And then they sent me 5 of the new blushes as well. I don't know how many of these actually are like good matches for my skin, but we're gonna find out together today. We have the Danessa Myricks palette. We have a bunch of stuff for my lips. We're gonna make some decisions, but I think that the thing I wanna focus on today are the new Valentino lip glosses. These are the puffer glosses. Honestly, I don't know whether they chose these shades to send to me because they're like, I'm at the bottom of the barrel and they're like rejects, or if they sent them to me because these are gonna be the most popular shades. Either way, they're the ones that I wanted. They are the weird ones, you know? I mean, this one's not weird, this one's just the clear, but like, they sent the black with the pink sparkles and I'm so excited about it. So I've used these, they're good, but we have some things to talk about. I got some of this like peel off lip liner stuff. Maybe we'll try that today. It's supposed to be in like a very like neutrally shade, so we might go on that adventure together. Either way, all kinds of stuff we have available to put on my face today, and I'm gonna have final thoughts for y'all at the end for all of these things, so let's go ahead and jump in. So, having used this foundation a few times, it's a little bit weird. It is glowy where I feel like it should be dewy in its attempts to try to be chill and lightweight and thin and milky, you know? Also, my lips are starving. Hang on. This remains the best lip prep. The Thrive. Or the Bigger Than Beauty. Ah, I feel like I can talk now. Okay, so again, I got this in 10N. It doesn't look like any neutral shade I've ever seen. It's very rosy. And I'm actually gonna start with just a light little bit of the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Nice into my dewdrops, because like I said, I have experience with this foundation and it's not that dewy. It's not that hydrated, so I need a little bit of help so that it doesn't look cakey on me. I also find that it doesn't really love powder. Here's the thing, right? With the Lancome is that Lisa Eldridge is still, I want to say, creative director there, right? And so it does feel very much in line with people wanting a lightweight skin tint of the same ilk as her skin tint, which is, by the way, if you're new here or new to makeup in general, the best skin tint on the internet. Everyone I know is obsessed with it, and I am too. I just repurchased it because mine is starting to go, you know what I mean? When it doesn't have very much left in it, and I was like, I will not be without this skin tint. I promised you that, and I will stick to my promise. It's like a lifelong product. It's just an incredibly good skin tint. So comparing this to it, while it does draw that comparison because we are talking about Lisa Eldridge in both cases, the Lisa Eldridge is so far and away better than any skin tint that I've ever had. It's a lot to expect out of something, and it doesn't really get anywhere near the skin tint from Lisa Eldridge, so I'll just go ahead and put that out there. In fact, I'm gonna swatch them next to each other because I have T2 in Lisa Eldridge. And it, I feel like, is a really, really good, accurate, neutral undertone for me. And then this is the Lancome. And you can just see they're very similar kind of in, you know, depth, but that the Lancome is so much pinker, right? That's the Lancome. Now, talking to Lisa when I was on that trip to London for her lipstick release that we were on the train for, they do look really similar though when you do that. Like, they're very similar coverage levels. I was asking her, I was like, why'd y'all discontinue my favorite lipstick that I bought on your recommendation? She did a video like years and years and years and years and years and years ago where I discovered the nude lipstick, which was called Nuit à Joux, that I ended up wearing to my wedding. And I was like, I see all these complaints of, you know, online, like why did all the shades change and all this stuff? And she was like, you know, the biggest market in global brands is usually the Asian market, and they just have so much more influence over shade ranges and things like that in new releases. And so that is kind of, you know, why a lot of times it feels like we're like, well, why wasn't my opinion taken into consideration? And it's like, because we're actually not in the United States like the most influential in that decision making. I feel like that's very much the case with this shade range. What a funky shade range. Like, while 10N does not look N to me at all, it is also among like so many fair shades that I do feel like I probably could have found a better one. I just felt like 10N would probably be the one for me. Either way, it is a lot of pale shades. Now, something else that you'll notice about this, and it isn't your imagination, it is reflective. Like, it is not just because it's wet. Like, it seems to have a lot of mica in it, where this one does not. And I hope that you're okay with me comparing the two. I feel like it does beg the comparison, especially if you are unable for some reason to get one or the other. You know, it's like you want to know if they're kind of interchangeable. It's such light coverage that it kind of doesn't matter that the undertone isn't perfect. But I mean, it's such light coverage that it's really not doing much of anything. And that was like it, pretty much. Like, it really doesn't do hardly anything. And so I have ended up, I feel like, kind of piling it up on my skin as I've been trying to understand it, just so I can see what the heck is going on. And I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to do what I think it wants to do, which is be virtually invisible. It's interesting too, because I feel like we're used to, with like kind of these older department store beauty counter brands like Lancome or, you know, Estee Lauder, another brand that I know next to nothing about, is that like, we're used to their foundations being proper foundations. Most of the time they're, you know, their coverage, or if they're not, they're like a tinted sunscreen usually. They'll usually have like a pretty, I don't know, anywhere from like a completely negligible but annoying amount of SPF in it for people who are usually allergic to their SPF ingredient like I am, all the way to, you know, quite a bit of SPF in something, and that will be their kind of skin tint. It needs to kind of still serve a purpose other than being like barely there. This is a little bit unusual in that sense. It's just not what you would expect. And so I think it's nice in concept, but it really immediately compares itself to something like Lisa's, which also has no label on it because it actually did rub off because I love it that much. It really begs itself to be compared to that, and this is just so light years ahead, above, beyond. And like, my mother uses it and she's 30 years older than me kind of thing. My friend uses it who's 10 years younger than me kind of thing. Like, it's just one of those, I don't want to say universal, but it's pretty darn close to universal crowd pleasers. And not only is this kind of neither here nor there in terms of coverage, it's really glowy and not dewy. Like I said, it is iridescent. Let me turn the light down so you can see. Can you see the kind of like mica presence on the skin? Or synthetic fluorophloropyte, I don't know what they've got in here, but it does have so much kind of iridescence to it that I feel like it accentuates texture where I don't really have it. There's another lighting situation you can take a look at. I don't know what I did to my forehead, why it has a line across it. What did I do? I don't know. All it takes is me to scratch something. I probably just scratched my nail across it and I'll be red for the rest of the day. Same thing happened here. Yeah. So it's negligible in terms of coverage. It is mostly a finish on the skin, and the finish that it has is very Tin Man for what it is. You know, it's pearlescent. I mean, it has a point of view, it does, but in an ocean of other things to compare it to, it certainly doesn't have like a point of view worth really hearing out. Okay, I'm gonna do contour and concealer real quick. I'm gonna use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer with, you know, it's in the stick format. This is in 20B. I lied, that's 12N. And then I'm gonna use my Dior contour stick. The way I'm about to ruin this makeup look. I have to be honest with y'all, and I know coming into this and having just such a negative opinion about it is a bummer for everyone involved, but also I hope that it like helps save you money. I have tried every tool with this and it's just a nightmare. I'm like dreading putting this on. So yeah, this is the new Hoola Bronzing Balm from Benefit. The reason that I wanted to buy this is because at first I was excited that they had put their bronzer not in a stupid little box. I don't know why that box pisses me off so bad, but that box pisses me off so bad that the original Hoola is in. And then I was like, oh, never mind. They were not enlightened, and this is actually a new formula. It is a balm. So I bought it just out of curiosity. It is the weirdest definition of a balm, because usually when something has this much stiffness to it, because it's not a putty, it is just kind of a movable balm, typically it will have more silicone to it, and I guess this kind of does, but it feels kind of oily, but not like the old like melt blush lights, because those were awesome, and this just isn't. It doesn't have the right amount of like slip to it, and so it's super matte. Like super duper matte, which is like not really what I want out of a balm necessarily. I mean, the ones from Rare Beauty, the blushes from Rare Beauty, and even the bronzers from Rare Beauty, they still go on pretty matte, and I feel like they're still really flattering, but this doesn't, like those have blur. This has no blur to it. It's just a really unpleasant, like when it catches on the makeup that is going on top of it, catches on the hairs on your face, and I have like tried to kind of imagine my way through it in a way that is going to be like the least offensive to put on my skin. I think that the best is like a dense brush, I think, you know, because it's not going to dry into the sponge, but it's also not going to try and spread my makeup around too much. But that was also the first thing that I tried, was like, you know, one of these bad boys, right? In fact, I think there's still some product left on there because I abandoned ship so quickly. So it's a tough freaking call, because I also tried using my favorite Rare Beauty brush, this one that they made like a, you know, 2.0 of, because it's so soft, it's so lovely, and I was like, oh, surely I have yet to meet a product that doesn't love this brush, you know, cream or powder. Nope. And also the color is just a little bit wrong. It's like a little bit too pale and a little bit too green. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna like chalk that up to that being their fault, but I think this was kind of the best that I got, was with like the BK 101. Put a little bit there and just dab. Do not on your life try and buff this. It doesn't have enough movability to it, and so it picks the makeup up really badly, but it also, as you can see, does not lay down very well upon tapping. It just kind of stays in the brush. But that is the price that we're gonna have to pay for the moment, because other than that, I don't think that we're doing Other than that, we're getting very minimal disruption because we're just going straight in. I'm not buffing, but really it's not laying down a whole lot of product either. Do you see that? It's like not laying any product down. And the texture that it leaves on my skin, this is the least bad that I've seen it, but God, I tried to do it with anything like a sponge or a looser brush, and the texture that it leaves on the cheeks is a nightmare. I mean, it's like unworkable. There's nothing pretty about that. Again, in a world awash in bronzers, bronzing drops, powder bronzers, and yet we're supposed to be excited about Benefit being like, ooh, we're finally putting out another bronzer formula, and like this is it. And now I have this funky, weird, in-betweeny texture on my skin that's kind of hovering there. I'm like, is it a balm or is it a powder? I promise I'm not being one of those people who's like pretending, like feigning incompetence, like, oh, it's a balm. Is it a powder or is it a cream? Oh, I don't understand this kind of product. Like, no, I've used products of a million different textures. I usually don't have any kind of problem with it. It's just, it feels like it doesn't want to be makeup. It feels like it doesn't want to go on your face. It feels like you're working against its preferences. It wants to be left alone. It's like that meme. It's like, I feel like cranberry juice doesn't want to be wet. Like, This doesn't want to be makeup. It just never agreed to it. It is bronzer against its will, and I don't recommend it. Now, I mean, one thing it does have going for it is that it's kind of olive, so that's, you know, great news for egg lovers, but at the same time, like, we went through that with my bronzer video, and like, y'all found plenty of bronzers that were olive undertone, and it's not like we're at a total scarcity of that, so you already had options. It might also be because I had that green smoothie behind me. Maybe we're saying, nope, it's green. So I do want to risk it for the biscuit in terms of using a powder, just because we also have a powder highlighter. Let's go in with some of these blushes. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch all these blushes real quick from Queen Yuja, as well as the bronzers. My swatch game has slowly but surely improved over the years, I think. So we have Truesdale Sunset, Mid-Century Pink, 1999, Portrait of an Artist, and Pale Fire. I'm so curious about the browns because I'm always curious about the browns. Let's also swatch the bronzers. These are not the only two shades. I just only picked the two lightest shades because I knew the other ones weren't gonna do anything for me. So that lighter one is called Mulholland Drive. Rest in peace. This one is called the Klimt Gold, as in, you know, Klimt the kiss. I think that it is this one that we're going to use for bronzer. We're probably going to end up quite bronzy here. And then I will use that to kind of bridge the gap into, oh, what do we think? Maybe we'll do bronzer and a little bit of that 1999 color, and then wait till afterwards to, you know, choose anything brighter because I don't want to end up looking clownish. I'm gonna go in with my big old bronzer brush here. This is the BK 102. Beautiful bronzer brush. And this is a first impression. No scent. The packaging is really pretty. They've got the, I mean, it doesn't feel particularly expensive, you know. They've got this like image on here and everything, and it's a little bit odd. Just an odd set of choices, but the inside feels nice, and I like the abundance of the pan and everything. You got your little embossing in there. So again, this is Mulholland Drive. Was that the lighter of the two? I feel like I'm losing my mind. No, haha, Mulholland Drive was the darker one. God, y'all, I have one job. Mulholland Drive was the darker one, and the Klimt Gold was the lighter one. So I've been using the darker one. Whoopsies. Oh well, it's very cute. Now you get to do both. I'm wondering if that's gonna be too orange. I'm kind of scared. It's almost gonna go too coral, I think. Is it? I don't know. Again, risk it for the biscuit here, y'all. I'm gonna use my trusty little Rare Beauty brush, see what it gives us. I mean, if nothing else, I'll pull out the Westman Atelier Duo, right? Like, I can always trust her. Yeah, it's pink. It's pinker. Not mad at it. Gonna give me a little bit of like a sunburn moment here. Ski goggle chic. Look at that. Ooh. The only way to remedy this, I'm gonna go in with my Victoria Beckham matte bronzing brick, the lighter shade here, and just sort of bridge that a little bit. Blendy, blendy. Blend until it makes sense, you know? Okay. At the risk of looking like an absolute loony the entire time that we're doing this eye look, I think if we're gonna do this peel off lip liner situation, I need to go ahead and do it now. This is just gonna be a really silly video. This long-wear lip liner keeps your lips in line all day and night for fuss-free lip that stays sharp for hours. I don't really want something that looks super sharp. I'm wondering how soft of something I can get out of this. But yeah, this is from the brand Sashu, and they have the peel off lip liner in the shade Nude. And ooh, as in O-O-H-D-E. I cannot get into this stupid package. Probably trying to tell me something. All right, here goes nothing, y'all. I'm gonna do my best to kind of feather it. I assume in order to peel it off, you do have to put on a substantial amount. That's a vibe. I mean, that's really the like shape that I usually do for a lip liner because I don't really love to line my Cupid's bow, so we'll just kind of blend it a little bit here. They say to leave it on for 10 or 15, so that's why we're doing it this way. I try to ignore it. I look insane. Y'all can go ahead and leave in the comments what I look like. Just tell me. Wrong answers only. And so we're gonna go ahead and crack into this Danessa Myricks Freedom Palette. This is in Pastel Dream. Hello. You know, there are just times. Who are you? Why are you? Who did this? Who invited you? It wasn't me. Anyway, this lip liner thing feels so silly. Okay, so starting in here with the tan one, because that's the one that you would think of, right? Nice little base color moment. I don't know when the last time it was that I used a Danessa Myricks powder eyeshadow. I have the Groundwork palette. While I like it, I don't think that it's something that's like for everyone to run out and buy. I don't think that it really makes that much intuitive sense, you know, in terms of being on the shelves at Sephora. This is a lot pinker of a tan, which is great news. That means that we can probably get away with some pink blush. Y'all are like, you're gonna put more on your cheeks, and I'm like, you must be new here. Look how sheerly that goes on in the way that like I could leave just that and my skin shows through it and it doesn't look patchy. That's pretty amazing. Like, I don't base my eyes or anything because I don't need to. My eyes are dry as hell already. The way that that's so easy. Lord in heaven, that blended easily. Wow, look at that. Look, I mean, I am a lot of things. A true makeup artist is not one of them. I only work on my own face as a general rule. And like, that was stupid. That was stupid easy. Like, that was idiot proof. I'm using a Sigma E25 Max, but like, you could use anything. You could blend that with a piece of pizza. I want to paint my eyeballs teal. I know that this is probably going to make my eyes look smaller, and I'm kind of entering into I don't care territory on this one. I'm gonna make my eyeballs teal. It just has to happen. That's so satisfying! Sorry, headphones wearers. Oh my God. I don't really even know where I'm going with this right now. I know I look insane. I look like a drag queen, like with no wig on right now. Hey, Ellen's watching this like, that's what I look like halfway through getting ready, okay? So, we do have to make some shapes here, but I don't really mind. It's going to be awesome. I do want something that like on a night where I was like wanting to look really like avant-garde, you know? Like if I had something really cool but also simple to wear, like I would go for something like this. So we are still trying to make this not just totally clownish, but it's like, especially with a color like this, good God, that's beautiful. I really have to go for like full saturation because if my skin shows through a color like that, it's not gonna look good. Okay, so here's our lilac. I'm just gonna kind of work that onto the lid also and kind of into the crease a little like that. And I'll blend it with glitter. You know, it doesn't matter that it's not a like clean line. They're gonna be glittered. But I'm mainly just fascinated by the texture of these shadows right now because like I said, Danessa Myricks, that girl knows a texture, okay? I feel like she is one of the most uncompromising people formula-wise that I have ever experienced her products. Now, those gorgeous little things in the pots that like make the unicorn glitter all over your eyeballs, they dry up so fast, it's a crime. So I hope she kind of figures out a better packaging situation for that, but like that was one of the most miraculous textures of anything I've ever used. Okay, those are not even. It doesn't matter to me. Wow, neat. I'm gonna take some more of the tan and go underneath my eyes. I just love that she included that rosy tan in there. And then we'll start in with the glitters. This is the cleanest I've ever worked with a palette with these kinds of colors in it because she made sure that she made them the right texture to be able to cooperate. Same brush, I just keep wiping it off. I'm gonna go with the gold that's over here in the corner, the shimmery friend. And I'm gonna start there. And that was the right answer. Oh my God, because it shifts turquoise. Look at that. Ooh, or maybe it doesn't shift turquoise. It shifts like champagne, but it's just like this beautiful topper that goes over the turquoise. Oh, whoa. Anybody who's watching this being like, well, you should try so-and-so's brand because they make things that are even more shimmery than that. Listen, I have a limit where I top out, okay? Like it has to be kind of a particular level of shimmer, and past that, it's not like some's good, more is better all the time for me. It has to kind of like, it has to have a stopping point, and that's exactly where I want it. Oh, drink it in, y'all. God, that's gorgeous. Okay, let's go for the teal one. The really, really teal one. That's this one right here. You can't tell, but the shift on it, it's like, yeah. It's so pretty. Oh my God, what in the what? Like, yeah, I'm slamming them all on my eyeballs today so that I can show these to you, but like you could do an entire look with just one of the kind of brighter colors. Jesus Lord, that's satisfying. Then we have that lavender, and I'm going to take that lavender and just kind of go over the lavender we already worked with. Yeah, I think that might be a little bit much. I think that's a little overkill. So, you see it, it's cool, but it's a little much for this look. I think we kind of go a little less on that. And I'm gonna go back in with the brown and just reinforce our shadows here. So the reason that I'm doing this is because we have so much shimmer. Shimmer is going to make the light kind of attracted to those areas, obviously. And so it's gonna distort anywhere where we've built the illusion of shadow with the contrasting both, you know, brown shade that looks more like shadow in and of itself, but also the way that it's matte, it's gonna absorb light, so it's going to accentuate the shadow there, and that's kind of what we wanna go for. I will not soon be over this color right here. That like golden thing that I put on first. Wowie wow wow. Oh my God. I think that we can take this stupid crap off my lips now. Not a very clean peel, because I didn't put very much on. I don't think this is for me. I don't like having to irritate my lips. I like my lips kind of to be their natural color. And you are supposed to pile this on so that you can get that really satisfying peel, but I got terrified halfway through. It just doesn't, like while you're putting it on, you're like, I don't want to. It just doesn't feel like something you want to do. There's nothing nude about that. My lips are just red now. God, that looks awful. That looks awful. All it did was just kind of gather in those lines on my lips right there. No freaking thank you. Yeah, I officially do not like that. Look at that color, it's red. What do you mean nude? That's red. Loonies. Absolute loonies. What are you talking about? There's nothing nude about that. All right, I want a little bit of the teal underneath my eyes, and then we will hop off and do liner and whatnot. But I feel like, you know, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna freaking do it, you know? Vibes. And some shimmer while we're at it. Meow. Okay. Adorable. I'm going to put on eyeliner and mascara. We're gonna come back and do maybe some blush and definitely some lips, and hopefully my lips calm down between now and then, because good God, what a mess. That we're actually gonna put more blush on. I don't think we're gonna put more blush on. We're gonna go with the highlighter first at least and see what happens, because I forgot to use it. So here's the Lancome CE Skin Transforming Highlighter. The reason I keep reading it like that is because it says CE Skin, not Skin Transforming. Like it says CE Skin, like it's like that's the name, either way. So, Rattly Natalie in the building. Look how flipping gorgeous that is. Wow, wow, wow. It has a little bit of brightening coverage to it. It isn't overly shimmery. It's so pretty. And it's the right color for me. And that's in 01, the light glow. I'm gonna take a little bit of it and put it on the inner corner of my eyes too. Use it like a, you know, like an eyeshadow here. See if that does anything. I don't really know. I don't know if I'm putting much on here, but just help finish out the look. I don't think that did squat. Maybe I'll put a little bit up here also. Yeah, that's nice. That's a highlighter that's greater than the sum of its parts. Like, it's not something where it looks super obvious. It just really does catch the light in a way. There's no glitter or anything. The only glitter that I have on my cheeks is like a little bit of fallout from the eyeshadow, I think. This is definitely a vibe. It's definitely a vibe. I could have gone without the lavender altogether. But I'm glad that we did this together. Let's look at some lips here. I'm going to swatch these and we're going to talk about them. I'm not going to lip line because none of these has really enough presence, nor does it really go with a nude lip liner, which is what I would do with anything. So, but I mean, wow, do they go with this look? They all go with this look. Each one of them promises a different future for us, all of which is, you know, pretty ideal. So the things that I like about these, one, they gave me a black with a pink sparkle that, by God, is gonna stay black on my lips. Has a light scent to it. It is light. I don't think that it is offensive at all. It's fruity with a tiny, tiny bit of floral in it, but I don't think that the floral is bad. Another thing that I like, it's not pH color adjusting, so the clear stays clear, as you can see, because there are literally swatches underneath it. Oops, sorry, but it's a clear lip gloss. And the third thing that I really like is that even though there is a little bit of a scent in there because it is a luxury item, Valentino has been known to put way too much scent in everything, including their first release of eyeshadows, like the glitter cream pot eyeshadows that looked like a disease on the eyes. They also were like so scented. I was like, why? They didn't do that here, and it also tastes a little bit sweet as it's wearing off, so I feel like that counterbalances any other possible annoyance there might be about the fragrance. So that is the black one. I don't know the names of them. They never put them on there. That's the clear one, and then that's that kind of iridescent lavender shade. Which one shall we use? I think that really the name of the game here is that y'all are gonna wanna see all of them. We're probably not going to keep the black one on, but it would be stupid to sit here and talk about it, especially when this is something that, in the true definition of holy grail, this is a holy grail thing for me because I've been looking for something like this for so long, where it is black and stays black and doesn't have like a really aggressive plumping sensation. I know that they exist, but still, it's like the luxury fashion houses are the ones that have been like acting like they were gonna do it right, and they just keep belly flopping. And this actually does what it says it's gonna do. So, like, that is, by God, a black lip gloss. Are they the glossiest lip glosses in the world? No. They're a little thick. I'm not mad at it, but they're a little thick. I just want you to be aware. They don't have that kind of like heavy syrupy presence on the lips that you get from like a Glossier lip gloss, or I mean, a lot of really typical lip glosses have that like line filling quality to them. This doesn't, and the plumping effect is extremely subtle. Like when my lips were incredibly sensitive earlier this week, I noticed a little bit more of the tingle. I really don't notice much tingle at all in this one, but you can see, I mean, it's a look. It's a look. And I mean, I really like a good like black lip gloss moment, but it's not for this look just because it's, I mean, it could be, but it's like a little much. It's just a little much. Here is the clear, because I think we're gonna round it out with the lavender. And the clear has a lot of glitter in it, which is awesome. But it's not going to irritate my lips and redden them. And it is not going to pH color adjust. It's just very freaking pretty. Like, my only complaint about it is that I wish they were glossier. You know what I mean? I wish there was like more to them, but they're not sticky. So, like, not at all. They've almost got kind of like a thick liquid lip balm thing to them. And then we will finish out with the lavender one, or baby pink really. And it's got a finer shimmer to it. It's giving a little bit of Jennifer Coolidge in Best in Show in the best way possible. And I feel like it really balances everything out. The applicator is not that like nightmarish weird thing that like Makeup Forever did. It's just a regular pointy guy with like a little reservoir in the middle. So let's give this a spray. And I think I'm ready to give you all my final thoughts. Starting with the foundation, the Fresh Glow Tinted Serum from Lancome. I don't hate this. I don't have anything really personal against it. I just don't think that it really does me any favors, and it's not like it's 2016 anymore where this would be groundbreaking. I feel like we would all be clamoring. We'd be like, oh my God, it's so thin. It's so interesting that they had the courage to put this little of coverage in something like this, and it's iridescent, this, that, and the other, but like, I feel like now we just have really trained eyes for what it is that we want, and something this thin that behaves like skin shouldn't then call itself out by being so iridescent and pearlescent on the skin. And so it's like, you know, it really again begs the comparison between this and Lisa Eldridge, and I say Lisa Eldridge all day long, or whatever light coverage complexion product you prefer. I just don't think this is a run out and buy it situation just because it's too pearly and not enough anything else. I don't know if I've been this disappointed outright in a product in a long time. The only reason I'm not mad is because like there are disappointments where my expectations are up here and then the disappointment happens and I fall a lot farther, but like the differential between what I expected and like how crappy it is, I didn't really lose much love in that situation. But yeah, this new Hoola bronzing balm from Benefit is just such a royal flop. I would miss this entirely. The Queen Musia formulas are really nice. I feel like this brand is going places. It's onto something. Is this the most special product in the world? No. But a lot of brands right now, why do I want to do that right now? But I do. It doesn't go with this outfit at all. It's so funny. This is Mid-Century Pink. That is like so extreme. Why am I so tempted to do that? The intrusive thoughts are winning, y'all. Either way, the bronzers are gorgeous. We ended up way too bronze as a result because I used the deeper shade, but it's also very, very pretty. But yeah, like I was saying, there are a lot of brands right now that could be criticized for like, you put that out just because you didn't already have one, not because it's like a groundbreaking version of something. But like I've also said, hey, we're into good makeup right now. And this is good makeup. Not the biggest fan of the packaging, but it's good makeup. And I feel like it goes in line again with like the other stuff in their collection. The intrusive thoughts are winning. Well, I like it. Mid-Century Pink. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, that's beautiful. I was so afraid. I was envisioning something so severe, and that is incredibly pretty. Yeah, it's just good makeup. I wish that the packaging felt a little less weird, like a little less, it's a little bit kitschy. Maybe that's what they were going for, you know? Kitschy's not always my thing, but the formula is gorgeous. Oh, Danessa. I had my expectations up here and I was not disappointed. This gave me everything that I was expecting and more, and it could have been very sideways, or it could have gone very sideways in the sense that, like, again, it's such a touchy little area for me getting into non-skin native colors and also flashy, multi-chromy kind of like shifts on shimmers and stuff like that. Like, it really walks a fine line, but I feel like I was wise to trust Danessa to do it the way that I'm going to be comfortable with. There's just something about this that no matter what color we're talking about, she's going to put it in a formula that just feels really high quality. Like, putting those on my eyes was just, it was magical. There was something really magical, and the formula feels, you know, very expensive and sophisticated to me. So I'm a huge fan of it. I love also that the whole thing comes off. I don't know why. It's such a choice. No one else does that. That's just pretty cool. I'm a huge fan of this. I definitely had in mind, like, you know, events that I might be going to or something like that I want to do like an entirely teal eye on, and this is the teal for that teal eye, and I love it. I love it. I think it's so beautiful. The Lancome Highlighter is kind of an unexpected little winner. I mean, there's nothing little about it, but my God, that's beautiful, right? I mean, you take kind of the avant-garde eye look out of the situation and you have what is just some really beautiful skin, especially with a couple of things working against it. I mean, really, just the fact that I had to layer so many things on top of my cheeks. It should be a sludgy mess, and this is the most uncomplaining thing. I really enjoy it, and I love like an abundant, I just like a big abundant pan like that. It's nice. As you can see, as I have had the puffer glosses on from Valentino for a while here, yeah, my lips were a little bit irritated because I wiped the heck out of them to get the lip liner crap off of my lips, which, by the way, do not pass go. Like, I have absolutely no interest in doing that ever again in my life. But also wiping them off and showing them to you in swatches and things like that, that's the only reason my lips are the color of pink that they are right now. If I had put on something that had a bunch of capsaicin in it in order to plump my lips the way that like the Gucci ones have or the new YSL ones have, my whole lip situation would be bright red. You wouldn't be able to see this kind of like lower pigmentation area on the inside of my lips right here. That is something that I love about my lips. I love that my lips are kind of like weird and translucent. That's why I like wearing cool toned lip glosses and stuff like that, is to just kind of accentuate that funky appearance of my lips. They've got a lot of blue in them. And so it's like when something just like enrages them and turns them bright red, not only do I lose that appearance, but like there's kind of no going back from it, because you have to like take an Advil. Like, what are you gonna do? You know, ice your lips? The fact that this doesn't do that is awesome. Like, it's just awesome. I'm really pleased with these. The only thing I would say, like I said, is just that, like, I wish they were glossier. I wish they were a little bit glossier. I would like to be getting a little bit more va va voom out of them. They're a little thick for my taste, so it's not quite as satisfying in that sense, but that might be some great news for a lot of people because not everybody likes a sticky lip gloss. I like a sticky lip gloss, but not everybody does. I mean, the look is definitely a look, eh? Don't you know? Don't you think? It's a lot. It's a lot what's on my face right now, but it was a lot of fun too, so I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. If you're new here, hi, welcome. Please subscribe while you're here. We would absolutely love to have you. I will put a video up here that I think you'll enjoy if you liked this one. Thank you all so much for being here. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.